Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the newest episode of Beantown vs. Big Apple Sports. I'm your host, Nico Levasseur, joined once again by my co-hosts, Alex Green and Reed Becker. Guys, this is the first episode where we don't have to wear a mask in the studio. How's it feel to not have to wear a mask, guys? How do you feel?
It feels great, Nico. It's been a long time coming. I'm sure Reed's excited as well, but it just feels like we're going back to normal a little bit with all this COVID kind of issues going on. So it just feels great.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting. Obviously, we still have to be careful, and there's some areas on campus where we still have to wear them, but it's definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I feel very excited to be able to not have to wear a mask. It does feel amazing. So anyway, today we'll be discussing the Boston Red Sox and New York Yankees as the spring training is underway. Starting with the Red Sox, Alex, what's the latest with Chris Sale and how will the Red Sox file some of the holes they have heading into this season?
Yeah, so Chris Sale, unfortunately, he was just placed on the IRA. He will miss opening day game against the Yankees with a stress fracture in his right rib, and that means Nathan Eovaldi will once again get the start for the Red Sox on opening day. He's going to have to step up. Nathan Eovaldi will. He'll have to be the ace with Chris Sale gone, and some other guys who have to step up in that rotation are Tanner Houck and Nick Pivetta. They'll have to become second and third options with Chris Sale out for the time being. And then also the lineup lost some key pieces as well. They lost Kyle Schwarber recently. He signed with the Phillies. And they're going to have guys like Xander Bogaerts and Rafael Devers be the stars of that offense and produce to the level they did last year. And then also Jackie Bradley Jr., he was traded for Hunter Renfroe in the offseason. So he's going to have to step up and have a better season than he had last season. And the Red Sox are, right now, they are in the mix to sign Trevor Story, the shortstop. He will have to switch his position if he does sign because they already have Xander Bogaerts at shortstop. So it'll be interesting to see what the Red Sox do with the Trevor Story. And if he does sign with the Red Sox, he should be a big boost to that lineup. And overall, I think that the Red Sox should be able to make the wild card this year, but their pitching does scare me as the rotation, as we mentioned, Chris Sale injured, and then their bullpen. They signed a couple guys, but they're still overall not the best, and could be a concern heading into this season.
You know, it's really funny for someone from me being from New Jersey. When the Red Sox first traded for Chris Sale, of course, the whole thought in New York was everyone's not happy that the Red Sox got Chris Sale. But what a dumpster fire that trade, if you look at it now, has really been. The guy can't stay healthy. I mean, it feels like he might as well just join the Yankees at this point. Uh, the guy can't stay healthy. The pitching staff, that's always the concern every year for the Red Sox. So if anything for the Red Sox, that's the main concern. If I'm looking at it with the Red Sox, I think the pitching, if anything, will definitely be holding them back, specifically the bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, the Red Sox did win a World Series after that Chris Sale trade, so I guess that's the one benefit to the trade. But yeah, he has not been able to stay healthy for a majority of his time in Boston, and it's been a shame because when he is healthy, he's one of the better pitchers in baseball. So it's sad that he won't be healthy to start the season again.
Guys, while I disagree that might be a good thing for him to join the Yankees, I agree that I hope the rotation definitely steps up this season and meets expectations because if they don't, continue the Red Sox chances of making the playoffs. Moving on, Reed, what are your thoughts on the Yankees trading Gary Sanchez and Gio Urshela to the Twins? What do you think?
Yeah, so the Yankees, first of all, just had to get rid of Gary Sanchez. He's the worst catcher that has been in New York sports history ever. I didn't like getting rid of Gio Urshela, though. He was definitely one of the best third basemen that they've had um, outside of probably A-Rod, if you want to go back that far. But at least recently, I wouldn't have given up Urshela, especially since he had come up big at the plate for them as well. But I did not. But that's that's in the past now. So the Yankees in that trade, though, they give up Urshela and Gary Sanchez. They get from Minnesota Josh Donaldson, who still has something left, but is also making $50 million at 36 years old, which is obviously not ideal. And then they got Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who will be playing shortstop, and then with that, they're going to be moving Gleyber Torres to second base. Also, the Yankees just recently re-signed first baseman Anthony Rizzo, 2 years, $32 million with a player opt-out after the first year. This comes after them losing out on Freddie Freeman, which I thought was pretty expected. And then the other news that just recently came out regarding really the Yankees and the Mets is Mayor Adams, New York City mayor, announced that both Yankees and Mets players that are unvaccinated, as of right now, will be unable to play at both Yankee Stadium and Citi Field. Now, it does appear that something might be getting worked out behind the scenes before opening day. And also with the Yankees with unvaccinated players, there's no official names yet that people know of yet, but it is really highly speculated that Aaron Judge is one of the Yankees that are unvaccinated since he refused to directly answer the question if he was vaccinated or not. The expectations, though, for the Yankees is to win now. I believe that the toughest competition in the AL East for them will be the Tampa Bay Rays. Again, the Yankees and Rays do not like each other, second to Yankees Red Sox. And I think the Rays are going to be right back there again, and that's going to be their toughest competition.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the Yankees. They always have really high expectations heading into the season, and I think another team in the AL East that could potentially challenge them for that top spot is the Blue Jays. They have signed a couple guys to their rotation, and then they also just got Matt Chapman as well.
They also lost some guys, though, as well, which was some heart.
They did, but I think their lineup now is a little bit better than it was last season, and their rotation as well, top to bottom in terms of 1 to 5, I think is a lot better than it was last season. So the Blue Jays and the Rays, I think, will be up there at the top, competing with the Yankees for the top spot in the AL East.
Yeah,
I still got the Yankees ahead of Toronto, but
Yeah, I definitely agree. Those are teams we definitely should focus on, because they sound like they got some really good lineups this year. So that's gonna be some good competition to watch. But I also think I agree with you, Reed. The Rays will definitely be the toughest competition for the Yankees in the AL East. It will be interesting to see how these offensive moves will impact their season. That's all the time we have for today. Join us next time when we review the playoffs for the Boston Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets.